Hey, this is Feni Fina and you are watching Superkicks Co-Sign. I'm Feni Fina, rapper, MC, host, curator, visionary from Bombay to Toronto. The name and I feel like my journey really started as just to self-express. I was living in Toronto for about, at that point, 7 years without returning home to India, and yeah, it was more so a calling on just to self-express and know myself more in a country where I feel like I was forgetting my roots. Being away from India and being born and raised in Andheri in Bombay, I feel like I was missing home a lot, so I started writing. And that's how the whole artistic side of me started really coming about. I've been writing since I was 14. I've always been an artist and I feel like a painter, dancer, but I think as I grew older and being in a new country where I had to kind of hold on to my roots, Feni Fina emerged as a artistic side, or I would say persona for somebody to like. It was almost like I didn't see that representation in media or in popular media, so to say. So I felt like it was necessary for brown women, or even just me as an artist, as a human immigrating from Bombay to Toronto, to have that identity and to push it forward as a brown artist. Yeah. I mean, I feel like as an artist, I was thinking about artist name. I'm like, what should I name myself as an artist? Because my name is Josephina, and growing up, people would always have like issues pronouncing it or things like that. So I was like, you know, if I keep it Josephina, that issue is still gonna persist. So I kept my like 4 letters from the last, like Fina, and Feni being me being Goan and me coming from that culture where I've spent like summers in Goa growing up. So that's how like I grew up around the Feni farms that my uncles and stuff would basically farm Feni, like farm cashew nuts and then take the Feni out of it, make it during summer times. So I've been around that, and the funny story, I think why I remember Feni so deeply is the first time I actually got hurt, like on my leg. I was playing in Goa, a typical kid, like just running around, and I hurt my like toe. My toe was literally like ripped open. And it wasn't that bad, but it was like it would take time to heal. And I went to my uncle's and I'm like, this is what's happened, and he's like, I have a medicine. So I was like, okay, I'm thinking he'll give me some medicine, kuch malam lagayega. So he took me to our room where we have like barrels of Feni. There's a glass liya, steel ka, and he just puts it in there. And even then I'm thinking maybe he'll give it to me because I'm like crying and in pain. But man just pours it on my feet, bro. And I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like, nothing, you'll be fine. Like, it won't. And I'm like crying and like yelling, being like, no, this is hurting. He's like, no, you'll be fine. So that, and seeing how that actually healed, like, because Feni has healing qualities. Obviously it's natural, and it comes from literally the whole concept of Feni is that it's healing, even if not just for your outer body, or if you have like wounds or anything, but also when you take it internally, it helps with colds and things like that, obviously in moderation. So yeah, so that's how like wo story na mere mein stuck ho gayi thi about how something like a liquor, like, because we look at it as it's alcohol and it gets you drunk or ye or wo, but for me it helped me at that point. And over the years, like, I've heard people like they don't drink too much Feni because it's too strong, but from what I've experienced, it's a healing spirit. It's like literally helps you with your cold, and I've experienced it myself. I had lost my voice like literally last year, and I went to Goa and all I was drinking was Feni. Like every day it was like 2 drinks in the morning and night, and my voice was back, like ekdam aisa khankanit awaaz aa gaya tha wapas. So that really reiterated of why I even named myself Feni, and I was like, damn, like this is actually a healing liquor. And that's how my music is. I think coming from a point of self-expression and self-motivation, I know it's people, when people listen to my music, I want them to feel ki haan yaar, like there is so much more to this world and so much more that we can achieve. Sadly, I'm the first, I guess happily, sadly, whatever, but I'm the first musician in my family. No, I don't have any musical like people in my family. I feel like I come from a background where we all had my grandparents, my parents had to like really work and find their way through to survive. So I think music and art didn't really have a space because it was about survival and trying to kind of find that just make money, bro, and take care of the family. So I think I'm grateful for my parents that they did that, and they stepped out of their zone of where they were in India to move to Canada and give me a better life, so I can literally make music, kind of like follow my heart, follow my passion. Especially as a woman, I think it's difficult to do that. And I also come from a family where the ideals of education is very important, regardless if you're a boy or girl. Because my mom is Buddhist Ambedkarite and my dad is Catholic. So that energy of education is mandatory, and even like having women in sports and just like for able to do things that usually for women are like in ghar pe baitho and do this and do that. But I think for me the emphasis was more on education and sports. So that's why I obviously graduated from University of Toronto, but I was also in sports. I used to play football for my school. Also went to like state selections and stuff. So I was super into sports as growing up. So I think music to me was ki like this is just hobby, like we're dancing, I'm painting, or I like certain type of music that was popular, like on literally growing up. I would say like Backstreet Boys, Britney Spears. I think these were the earlier influences. Like when I'm saying earlier as in like literally 90s, early 2000s. And then going into eventually as I was exposed to more of like music around me, it would then be like Imran Khan when hip hop like was kind of coming into India. And then like Akon, Eminem. So I think most of my influences until before like I moved to Toronto were popular pop culture or whatever was playing on MTV or VH1.